right, well, welcome everyone to our October Digital Teacher Leader webinar. Today we will be focusing, or actually through the whole month, we'll be focusing on the ISTE Student Standard of Digital Citizen. Oops, so there's our posters. Hopefully you all got your posters. If you haven't, let your digital learning specialist know. We can make sure you get one. Here's our team again. Today you'll have a choice to either hear from Kelli, who's one of our new elementary digital learning specialists, or you're from Kira, who's been on the team for a couple of years. Hopefully you're familiar with her. Before we dive into the sessions, here are our announcements. One, just remember to be submitting your monthly reports for your tech trainings. You can find that reporting form on the Digital Teacher Leader Canvas course, or if you need that, let your digital learning specialist know. If you haven't been added to that course, again, reach out to either to me or your digital learning specialist. A new announcement, if you aren't already following Jordan Digital Learning on Instagram and you're on Instagram, then shout out, you should follow our account. Right now we have a Canva Cash competition that just launched today, where teachers in Jordan School District can design something in Canva and share it with us with the hashtag JSD Canva Cash Comp, and they can be entered to win a $25 Canva print voucher that they can use to print whatever they like from Canva and get it shipped to them. So we're pretty excited about that. Check that out on our Instagram feed if you're on Instagram, and if you're not, then maybe you should, so you can be part of that. We also want to let you know that if you haven't heard, with School AI, with the pilot that we have going on, Spaces, the feature where you can send students to Spaces, is now enabled for students. So students, you can use Spaces with students. So make sure your teachers know that, and that's passed on to them. And if you haven't signed up for the pilot, you still can from our website. It will be on the right-hand side. You'll see where it says to sign up for School AI pilot. And then our next webinar will be November, the first Tuesday in November, November 7th. And it will be on Knowledge Constructor. And then another reminder to share this out with anyone who might be interested in joining the Ed Tech endorsement, or if you yourself are interested, which if you don't have your Ed Tech endorsement, we would highly encourage you to do that. There's the information about that.
Colby, I forgot one thing that Kara might be able to help us out with. Kara, what's the deadline on USET proposals if somebody wanted to present at USET?
I'm so glad you asked. The deadline for submitting USET proposals is October 15th. And the code or the website to submit your proposals, I'll put in the chat. It's just uset.org 2024 proposals. And why didn't that make it a link? Hold on. Let's see. Okay, here's the actual, that's the short code. Here's the actual code. Submit. And we'd love to have everybody submit because you're doing awesome things, and we want to, share that goodness with everybody else.
And anyone who submits a proposal that gets accepted, they get a free conference registration, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, any other announcements from anyone on the DTL team? All right, then with that, we'll start with our sessions for today. As mentioned, today is on digital citizenship. So we'll have one session with Kelli. She's calling it Digital Citizenship for Elementary. And if you're interested in that, you'll stay right here in this Zoom meeting. And if you would like to join Kira for using portfolios to teach digital citizenship, then you will go to the link that I just put in the chat. So go ahead and join those, and we'll get started here pretty quick.
Kelli, did you send that to everyone, or did you send it to just one person?
The chat?
The Nearpod link, yeah.
I sent it to everyone.
Oh, okay.
For some reason it like won't let me pull it up again, but just type in join.nearpod.com and then put the code in. I'll zoom in a little more so you can see it. So while you are getting into this Nearpod, I decided to do a Nearpod because I felt like it was a good way to model how you could teach this to teachers and how you could teach this to students. It's all in one place, and there's a lot of different things you can do with Nearpod. And I'm sure everyone here, loves Nearpod, and hopefully you're super familiar with it. And if not, call your digital teaching and learning specialist, and we will come out to your school and help you with Nearpod. So it looks like we've got about 3 people in so far. So I'll give it maybe 1 or 2 more minutes for you to join. You're definitely going to want to join just because this is more interactive. So it's not just going to be me talking. It's going to be everybody kind of joining in the activities.
Some of us are driving, so we're not going to join.
You can still talk, right? So we're good with that. As long as we can hear your voice, we love hearing comments. Okay. One more minute. Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to spend our entire time on here. I want to get to the actual beginning of this. Okay. So for this month, we're talking about digital citizenship, and I decided to go with an elementary route just because that's my background. Before this position, I taught 4th grade and 5th grade. So I was looking at it more from like an elementary lens. So if you're on the Nearpod, it'd be great if you could do this first slide for us. So this is a diagram that you might be able to do with your staff for professional development. You can have them write on this. You can have students write on this. There's this awesome draw tool in Nearpod. So I just want you to take a minute and write what you know about digital citizenship. So examples, non-examples, characteristics, what's a definition. So just go ahead and fill that out. Okay, so something else that I like about Nearpod too is hopefully you guys are okay with me kind of switching over from a student view to a teacher view. But if you would like to kind of share this with everybody in a meeting or with students, you would click on the teacher view and then you could kind of see what people have written. I clicked this eye in the corner just so that way we didn't have to see names. But some of the things we have somebody who puts forth good online. So being good online, ways that we interact with people online, that could be good and bad, right? Bullies is a non-example, like cyberbullying. I could see students and teachers both thinking this way. So I'm loving the comments I'm seeing. Some people are typing, some people are writing. Ooh, digital citizenship is the ability to navigate our digital environments in a way that's safe and responsible. Love that. So what I like about these answers so far is we're kind of focusing on some of the good things that digital citizens do. And we're going to talk more about this later, but being a digital citizen isn't just about the don'ts. It's about the do's and teaching kids and also adults how to react and communicate in the virtual world in a positive way. So we're going to keep going now. So I just have a really short video from Common Sense Media about what exactly digital citizenship is. And I think this is a good review if you were teaching the teachers or students in your school, just to define what is digital citizenship. So I'm going to push play.
Should there be audio with this video?
All right. So that's one resource, one website that you might want to check out is Common Sense Media. They have lesson plans, they have resources, they have all kinds of ways to increase your knowledge of digital citizenship. And so I would definitely save that website. Something that I like, I actually heard this last year in an assembly, was how to teach kids what are some good and some not as good uses for technology. And they talked about digital candy versus digital vegetables. And with the candy, I think we're all guilty of indulging in candy every once in a while. And teaching students, it's okay to have a piece of candy. It's okay to be on social media. It's okay to use YouTube just to watch funny shows or to play video games. But you would make yourself sick if you ate candy all day, every day, right? And you never had anything healthy to eat. And you can't have all candy in your life. And the digital vegetables are things that we're trying to teach students, like how to learn a new skill or how to expand our knowledge, a virtual museum. I love this one, FaceTime with grandma. That's pretty cute. So making connections with your family members, like those are some good things. We couldn't eat just all vegetables all the time. I don't know any kid that could do that. But we also, as parents and teachers, don't want them just eating candy. So that might be kind of a fun way you can introduce this to students and to your faculty. Then I put the link to the website in there. So if you want to read more about it, then it's right in there for you. And then something else I thought about including was this video called Make Digital Citizenship About the Do's, Not the Don'ts. And this is Richard Culotta. And if you don't know who he is the president and CEO, I guess, of ISTE, which is the International Society for Technology and Education. And he's actually here from Utah. He went to BYU. So I just feel like we can all kind of relate to what he's saying. And what I like most about his message is what we talked about. So the do's, not the don'ts. Kids can't practice don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that. It's like if you tell them, don't eat, this candy, they're going to want to eat it. Or like, don't think about an elephant. They're going to be thinking about it. So if we want them to practice the right way to be, then we want them to focus on the do's. So I'm just going to play this video real quick.
Far too often, digital citizenship is taught in a negative way. Here's the list of things not to do online. And while I deeply appreciate the intent behind all the anti-cyberbullying campaigns, we don't teach other things as anti in our schools, right? I mean, we don't have like an anti-illiteracy campaign. We teach people to love to read. Right? Digital citizenship shouldn't be a list of don'ts, but a list of do's. La Cañada School District in California decided instead of teaching anti-cyberbullying, they were going to start teaching their kids what it meant to be good cyber friends, which includes watching out for people who aren't being treated respectfully online. In addition to being more compelling, by the way, keeping it positive is actually something you can practice. You can't practice not doing something. The other thing we need to evolve is our thinking around recognizing that the skills required to thrive as a digital citizen go far beyond just online safety. It includes being respectful of people with differing viewpoints from our own, recognizing fact from fiction online, using technology to engage in civil action, knowing how to have the right balance of activities online and offline, and of course, knowing how to be safe and also create safe spaces for others. These aren't skills that students are learning, by the way, by watching adults either, you may have noticed. So we also have to do a better job ourselves. Last year in Chicago, we challenged you to commit to doing at least one thing differently to teach digital citizenship in a positive, broader way. And we asked you to share your stories. We got so many stories. I wish I could take the time to share all of them with you, but let me just give one or two quick examples. Laura Carey, a 5th grade teacher in California, committed to modeling good digital citizenship by citing all of the sources that she used. In her words, no more snatching an image just because it's for my class. Or a technology integration specialist from Elk Grove USD who committed to supporting students in, again, in their words, using technology as a global microphone to connect communities beyond their classrooms. Unfortunately, the people who most need to hear this message aren't sitting in this room today. So we are planning a bold next step, and we need your help. ISTE, in partnership with like-minded organizations, is launching an international campaign around redefining digital citizenship. We're calling, yes, you can clap for that, thank you. We're calling on students, educators, parents, and community members to take action in ensuring that our students have the skills they need to be effective digital citizens. We will be curating the best resources we can find to help teachers and parents talk to their kids about these important skills, and we'll be sharing them at digcitcommit.org. With your help, we have a shot at creating a radically better future.
Okay. So that's just a little clip, but it made me feel really excited when I saw that, because I saw that and realized that as teachers and parents and leaders, adults, we need to be modeling these things for our students, and as well be able to not just say like, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, we're not doing this, but to show them these are ways that we can live and thrive in a virtual world, in a virtual community. These communities are extensions of our daily life. So I also got this from him as well. So he said he went to a school and he said, show me what your digital usage agreement looks like that students had to sign. And he read it and he counted that there were 36 don'ts and 0 do's. And if I were a student and I saw, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, then I might be thinking, okay, I'm going to do the first thing on the list and go down the list and do every single one, right? But it doesn't say, do be a communicator, do be a collaborator, do share positive messages, right? And so those are the things that we might want to focus on while we're teaching our students and our staff about digital citizenship. So I'm just going to have you maybe really quick in this little collaborate board here to write some ideas that you might have for how you teach digital citizenship in your school, or what you've seen done really well. And if you're driving, just unmute yourself and you can tell us any cool ideas, kind of like Richard Culata with the DigCit
One thing that I used in my classroom, where's the video? Okay. We've been using the digital footprints, and just exactly at the same time when we were creating the classroom rules, we've been creating the rules for digital footprints. So these rules kind of mirrored how are we behaving in our classroom environment and how do we behave in our digital environment.
I like that, especially because I think that's something that's explicitly taught, you know, like we teach kids all the time. At school, you behave this way. At church, you behave this way. At the library, at the park, you know, in the cafeteria. But how often do we say in this social media, we need to behave this way? Or in Canvas discussions, we need to behave this way. So I really like that. Okay, I see some of the other things here. Citing online sources, that's good. Just like that little clip in the video that said, I'm going to cite every single source. I'm going to show them that we can't just steal people's work online or plagiarize. That's good. Common sense media, lessons in Nearpod, right? So that's another reason why I chose Nearpod for this webinar, because there are so many resources in Nearpod that are already made. So you can take those and teach those to your students. I was going to talk about Be Internet Awesome, Interland from Google. That's a really, really fun game students like to play, and it teaches them these skills. Teaching empathy, you can still hurt feelings online. That's true. Sometimes kids especially think that what they say or do online isn't real, but it is. And we know that it can really hurt people. Modeling good digital citizenship. Celebrate people's work online. Yeah, good. Like spread that positivity, right? We can spread negativity or positivity. And I think students need to know that.
A lot of times we tell them they can't use Wikipedia or things like that. But, you know, I tell them, look, if you want to use the source, you can use that source, but you have to verify it with another source. You can't just automatically believe that. And plus, I like to use Adobe Express for videos and presentations and things because it automatically catches all of the citation at the end. So it's an awesome resource.
Oh, nice. I love that. That kind of goes along with Melanie's comment in the chat about the librarians teaching digital citizenship lessons during rotations, because I think that media literacy is a part of this as well, right? Teaching students fact from fiction to verify sources. I think even adults have a hard time with this, of knowing what's true and what's not, and AI is not making it any easier, is it? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing those ideas. So I wanted to show you, I made this a while ago. This is called a thing link. And I made it in the form of Power Rangers because I thought that would be fun for kids to use. And in a thing link, each one of these little pulsing icons has different activities to do with the ISTE standards for digital citizenship, like knowledge constructor, what we talked about. Is this true and a reliable source? Or how to be a digital citizen and watch this video. So you can always kind of create different ways of teaching students digital citizenship. This is more of a self-paced thing for older kids. You'd have to teach it more explicitly for younger kids. And then finally, in these last few minutes, I just want to talk about some resources that I have. So when I went to ISTE last summer, this book just came out. It's called Sonia's Digital World. And I think for elementary, there's really no better way of teaching than with a picture book. And I know I shared this with 5th grade, so I know even 5th graders would do picture books. But what I like about this book is that it talks about ways to connect with people. You can see it online. And then it has discussion questions in the back. And then it has here the ISTE standards for students. I'm a digital explorer. So there's all kinds of picture books like this out there that talk about the do's, what we should do. Like we should connect in a positive way. We should do these things. I put a link in right here that has 15 more books about digital citizenship. And there's cute like tweets, Once Upon a Time Online, Blackout, Unplugged, like there's tons of resources. So you can probably look online and find a lot of books about digital citizenship that you can read with students. Sonia's Digital World here, that's the one I was just showing you. And then one that we're reading together, our digital teaching and learning team here in the district this year is Digital for Good by Richard Kulata, and that is the person we just saw in the video. And so far, we've really enjoyed it. It just talks a lot about how we can be positive in our online relationships. And we can model the correct way to interact with each other. And then I have a few websites to try here. So maybe if you want to try one of these and see what resources that we have DigCit Utah. And we have a lot of these resources here in Utah that are helpful. So this one here has some good examples, digital wellness. I know with the pandemic, so many kids were having anxiety and depression. So digital wellness is important when we're talking about this. The Be Internet Awesome is the Interland game, which is really fun. And I think there's also some lesson plans now that go with it, some parent notes and things. So it's just a fun way that Google has taught internet and digital citizenship safety. And then this very last one here is a lot of resources from UEN. So with UEN, they have all of these resources here. And I thought this was cool. Like there's NetSmarts, there's resources from the Utah Attorney General, like just a lot of different things that maybe you can explore. So I'm trying to give you a few different resources to choose from here. Okay, so my last thing here really quick, if you are on a computer, I was hoping you would indulge me in a game. So a fun feature of Nearpod is that there's a lot of these games called Time to Climb. and you can pick your settings here. So like maybe we want to do outer space or Halloween or whatever. So you can pick your theme. And then I just went in and I typed digital citizenship, and there were already pre-made questions. So it's just a fun way to kind of check with your students and see what they've got, what they understood. It'll give you a report. So I know you'll know the answers to these questions, but if you're looking like as a student lens, just go with that. Okay. So are you guys okay if we do Halloween? You knew I was going to choose Halloween, right? Okay. So there's just a few questions, 6 questions that hopefully you'll play just so you can get a kind of a taste of what Time to Climb is all about. So anybody who can, please join. Maybe the winner can get some extra Canva cash or something. Love the little people we've got here. We got a mummy, a witch, a pumpkin. And you can see how this would be really fun for students, but also adults, you know, I can see teachers playing this together. Okay, I'll give you like 30 more seconds. Okay, all right, here we go. Good luck. See if you can do it. Some of these can be kind of tricky. You can go in and edit the questions yourself if you're the one hosting. All right, we've got 2 more questions to go. My favorite part of this is the music, but all the different themes have different music, different avatars, all of that. Okay, we got 1 more question to go. Ten more seconds. All right, and then of course, I've hidden everybody's names, which you might want to do as students, but if you want, you can have their names be shown, and then there's a little podium. So that's just a fun way to use Nearpod in your lessons, and hopefully it gives you kind of some fresh ideas. So I'm going to turn that off here. Close out of it. Okay, so anyway, that's all that I have for you guys today. Are there any final comments or any ideas anybody wants to share about digital citizenship? Yeah, is that Jeff? You had your hand.
No, I was just clapping for you. Good job.
Oh, thanks for the applause. Wow. Anyway, if you guys want, oh, one more thing, in the Nearpod library, can I show you one more thing? I think I have a minute still. So if you go to the Nearpod library, I was going to show you really quick where you can find these lessons. So these are obviously where your lessons are, but if you go to your school library, you can check district library here. Has some that we've made or that we've put in here. So I don't know if you've ever taken a minute to look into the Nearpod library, but if you click on digital citizenship, there's a bunch here. These are the common sense media lessons. Here's some that other people have made. And then here's the one that I made. So if for whatever reason you want to look at the resources, just go ahead and add that. Or you can add any of these and they're already made. So that's what I love about Nearpod is that there's tons of resources with not a lot of planning involved. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming. I don't know if we need to like officially be sent off.